All right, it's MGC Don. Finna react to Dame Dash talking about Jim Jones. Let's get into it.
Just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform.
The thing with Detavio is, for some reason, 2 days before the interview, he disappeared, and so did the other kid, whatever his name is. They both did. If we would have spoke, we could have actually articulated the right way that we wanted this to be launched. But they did know I was going to the Breakfast Club, and that kid Dante, or whatever his name is, he knew that I had a statement that I was putting for Detavio, but I wanted to talk to him to make sure that we said the right shit. But I don't have time to move at their pace. That's why they broke. They move slow. They do their business different, and I think they're not that bright. I think they're stupid over there.
Dame Dash is always on timing. And he gonna tell you if he don't think you bright. He gonna tell you if he don't think you really clicking in your brain. Like, he gonna let you know. You gotta give it to the man. Half of the time he do know what he be talking about. He do know what he be talking about half of the time. And I just hope he forever stay in his field. It seemed like he know what he talking about because he in his field. I feel like if you was to take him out of his field, he'd be just as delusional as people that think they know what they talking about in his field, but they don't. But I mean, props to him. You're supposed to know everything about what you do that's in your field of profession. If you don't, something ain't right. But shout out to Dame. He just Dame, man. That's what make him him.
I think the way they approach their business as it relates to media is dumb. And, I just think it's very. I could double their numbers in a hot minute. We have our like. Why wouldn't you? The thing is, even with like a Netflix, they were losing money, and they still got to raise $1 billion every year, which is meaning they're spending someone else's money, but it's fine. They're in their debt till they make it back. They just got a lot of cash flow, but at least they're making content that they could leverage later. It's different verticals, and I don't think they stimulate them. The approach on their business approach to me, I could make that $400 million in a hot second. They make no money on linear. They're not even Nielsen rated, so their linear doesn't mean anything. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
They don't even get ads for linear. It's all programmatic. What am I doing? Programmatic. I get the full CPM. They got to go through a middleman. So if I could look at their engagement and see what it would do with our programmatic, it would probably be double, triple. But why wouldn't they want to rock with that? Why wouldn't the bank is getting their money, so they don't care. But the thing is, that's all they make is enough to pay their loan, allegedly. But a lot of these are public things, so it's like people just don't read.
I interviewed Jim Jones in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And when I interviewed him,
Hold on, I just want to take the time to say I like how he studied. I like how Dame studied. I like how, studying is the best thing you can do. Like, study. That's how you figure it out. That's how you come up with a plan. That's how you figure out how to make your next move and make your next hustle your best hustle. So, shout out to that. Shout out to studying.
he said that he wanted to sign The Rock, or he wanted to, or you guys talked about it, and that you didn't want to give him $1 million for the deal. I've seen this talked about as, kind of like maybe when the split happened, when they made Cam vice president. Did you guys feel like you had to choose sides between Dame and Jay at the time?
Toe, man. For real.
Nah, I didn't have a side to choose. I chose whatever side Cam
patio in
chose.
Dubai, like Abu Dhabi.
Okay, the split happens. After that, right after that is when you go to Koch.
Yeah, somewhere around there, something like that. Maybe a little bit before that. I tell us people I tried to get $1 million from Dame. Dame laughed at me. We tried to do the Koch deal. I knew that I would make more than $1 million. And being independent was a thing that I've seen from being in Houston the previous 2 years, and watching all these Houston artists making so much money selling shit out their trunk and in the mom and pop stores. Had the same attitude, like it wouldn't matter where these kids get the records from, long as they see the Diplomat bird on it. They wouldn't give a fuck if it was Def Jam, Atlantic, mom and pop. They just want to see what the bird is about.
No, What I told him was, you think Jay's gonna approve $1 million for you? You just punch Lenny S in the face. That's what happened. So I said, go to Koch. You can go. And I didn't have to. I let them all go. That might have been a mistake. But that, again, just because I was CEO doesn't mean that I could just make moves. I had to get approval from Jay, Lior, Biggs, and myself. And then everyone would have to sign off on it. There was no way Jay was going to ever, he wouldn't sign off on Kanye. So you think he's going to sign off on, he didn't sign off on Joe Buttons.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more.
All right, that's gonna wrap it up. Shout out Cam Capone. Shout out Dame Dash. It's MGC. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we're gonna keep going, keep grinding.